I thank the gentleman from Montana. It's important for us to be here tonight. It's important for us to address the attack on the Second Amendment. Now, the reason I say that is some people don't care about that Second Amendment. Some people would pack the court to do away with that Second Amendment. That's an important right. It's so important that in the Heller decision, Justice Scalia said it, quote, "The very text of the Second Amendment implicitly recognizes the pre-existence of the right and declares only that it shall not be infringed." What does it mean when you say that right is pre-existing? It means that it's not given by the government, and thus it cannot be taken away by the government. Instead, it is inherent in every individual, every person. In fact, the reason I use the word individual is because Justice Scalia made very clear, after a very lengthy discussion regarding militia versus individuals, that this is an individual right. It isn't some kind of collective. It isn't some kind of government organized right. It is a God-given right, and thus it is prohibited for the government to infringe upon that right. Justice Scalia went on to say exactly what I just said. He said, "This is not a right granted by the Constitution, neither is it in any manner dependent upon that instrument for its existence. The Second Amendment declares that it shall not be infringed." How can anyone who has taken an oath of office to honor, defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, how can they then vote for legislation that would surrender that right to the government? My friends across the aisle have failed to remember how important it is. I'm going to make 3 quick points. Number 1, why is an AR-15 important? It is a gun that is light and easy to handle for people who are being attacked. It is a perfect defensive weapon. It is important that we remember that. Second thing, good guys with guns actually do save lives. Democrats ignored the recent incident in West Virginia where a woman used her 9mm pistol to stop a shooter who was shooting towards a crowd of people with an AR-15, by the way. They ignored the actions of Stephen Williford, who stopped a shooting at Sutherland Springs, Texas. If you're relying solely on the police to come, I love my friends of the blue. We rely on them, we depend upon them. But when someone's attacking you, you don't always have time to wait for those first responders to get there. And my last point is this. If you're 18, 19, and 20 years old, you still have that God-given right to defend yourself and to the Second Amendment. The proposals of this body ignore the fact that the Ninth Circuit recently recognized and realized that they have those rights, and they struck down a California law that imposed a restriction on 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening, don't give up your right. And if you're a member of Congress, don't take away this important God-given right. Mr. Rosendale, thank you for letting me speak. I'll yield back to you.
Thank you very much. Representative Biggs, one of our strongest defenders of the Second Amendment.